Today, let's talk about fire doors and fire door inspections. Now, fire doors are a passive fire protection component, meaning that there's nothing that needs to activate in order for them to operate, right? Like a fire alarm system or fire sprinkler system requires some operation. Fire doors are just installed and they're there constantly resisting that spread of fire. We install them in fire barriers. The most common place that they're going to be is in exit stairwells, right? We don't want that fire spreading into our means of egress. And unfortunately, like a lot of passive fire protection systems, they just get installed and then they just kind of get forgot about. What most people don't realize is we need to be inspecting and testing these fire doors to make sure they're going to operate when needed. Especially doors, they get used all the times in buildings, and there's a lot of things that happen to a door that could deteriorate it so that it doesn't operate properly. Now, NFPA 80 is the standard for fire doors and other opening protectives, and that covers all the inspection, testing, and maintenance requirements. So let's take a quick look here. Chapter 5 is going to cover our inspection, testing, and maintenance requirements. I'm going to cover just the periodic inspection and tests, not necessarily the acceptance testing. And 524 covers the periodic inspection requirements. The biggest thing here, periodic inspections need to be performed not less than annually. So at least once a year, we should be doing an inspection on these fire doors to make sure that they're operational. Another thing to note, you need to be qualified in order to do this. So the authority having jurisdiction is going to deem who is qualified, whether that's through licensure or having specific training. So talk to the authority having jurisdiction to make sure that you're licensed and can do this work. But in many cases, the building owner can be doing a lot of these periodic inspections on these fire doors. Now, I'm just going to cover some of the things that we look at during an inspection. If we look at 524, 4 here, it's saying at a minimum, the provisions of 523 need to be included in that periodic inspection and test. Now, 523 covers acceptance testing, but if we scroll down, there's actually a 13 item list here, and we're going to be talking about swinging doors with builder's hardware. These are the 13 items that need to be looked at when we're doing an inspection. Now, I'm not going to go through and read all of these. I think the best way is I'm going to bring you in to a fire door installation, and we're going to look at these items of an inspection. Now, one thing I want to mention, this isn't how to do a fire door inspection. I'm just going to highlight these items that need to be looked at when you're doing a fire door inspection. You need to, again, be properly qualified by the authority having jurisdiction to do these inspections. But let's go into a building, and I'll show you what some of these items look like on an installation. So here's the door that we're going to be doing a quick inspection on. This is a swinging fire door with builder's hardware. What that means is that all of the components are listed separately and they're assembled on site. So the actual fire exit hardware, the hinges, the door, the frame, it's all listed separately and assembled on site. That's all covered by NFPA 80 as far as the inspection requirements. So what are we going to be looking at? First, we're going to be inspecting the door from both sides. Most of the things I'm just going to show you from this side, but keep in mind that we're going to be doing it from both sides. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the labels and make sure that they are legible. So a lot of the labels you're going to see on the inside of the door. Here's an example of a label that's been painted, but it is still visible. Because it's embossed, I can still read that this is an 1.5 hour listed fire door. And we want to take a look. We see also the listing of the frame itself. And we see here, we've got a listing here for the fire exit hardware itself. So you're going to look at all of that. Make sure it's compliant. The one question we get a lot is, are they just not allowed to be painted as far as the labels? Technically, they just need to be visible. So if they are painted and embossed and you can still read it, that is okay. But if they're flat and painted and you can't read them anymore, that's not compliant. Next thing we're going to be looking for is any damage to the doors or the frame. So we don't see any damage. If we had holes, the holes can be filled with metal screws. So we would look at that. Next, we're going to check the glazing. The glazing is intact, not damaged. It's being held in. It's not loose. That's all fine. We're going to check for auxiliary hardware that's installed on the door that could impede that door closing. I think one of the biggest things we're looking for is making sure there's no door chocks or anything installed on the door or any door chocks around the door. We don't want that door being propped open. We need the door to be able to be self-closing and self-latching, so we're looking for that. If there's any gasketing required on the door, this door is not required to have any gasketing, but some doors might actually be required to have some sort of gasketing if they're a smoke-proof door or as part of the listing of the door. So if it's there, check to see that it's damaged. It needs to be there if it's required. Next, we're gonna look, are there any modification to this door that could void the listing? One of the things that we could look for is electronic locking. Is that potentially going to void the listing of the door? We're gonna check how that's installed, making sure that any modifications done to install that is done in a way that won't void the listing of the door itself. Now, NFPA 80 does allow some specific job site preparations, whether that's putting holes in the door for surface applied hardware or doing door undercuts. All of those, check NFPA 80 to see if the job site preparation is all permitted. And then next, we're gonna check that the door closes and latches. Now, the best way to do that, we're gonna open it and we're gonna simply let that door close and we're gonna confirm that it latches. Now, one thing we notice with this door is it is not completely latching. So that is something that we are going to need to take a look at. That door does not completely close and latch. And we do that from every open position. Now let's see if it changes at all when it's fully open. Nope, that door is not self-closing and self-latching. So that is something that we're gonna have to get repaired by a qualified person. And then the last thing that we're gonna look at, we're gonna actually go on the pull side of the door. And again, we wanna check damage on this door as well. We want to check the door clearances. So I don't have the specific tool with me to check, but it's a tool that you would put in here to check to make sure that the door clearances aren't too much or too little. So for a hollow metal door, NFPA 80 says we want to between 1/8 of an inch plus or minus 1/16 of an inch between the door and the frame. So we'd be measuring that. And then the door undercuts, we want to be no more than 3/4 of an inch between the floor and the bottom of that door. And then the last thing we want to be paying attention to is signage. If we've got combustible signage, we can't be more than 5% of the side of the door, so on either side. If we're painted onto the door, that is acceptable. And we want to make sure that that signage, the best practice is attach signage with adhesive. There are some allowances to use metal screws, but again, check NFPA 80 to make sure that you're complying with those requirements. Best bet, non-combustible signage, and to be attaching it with adhesive. If you have combustible signage, no more than 5%. There are some limitations, 200 square feet, I believe, if you're doing metal signage. So pay attention to all that. Signage is very important on a fire door. We don't want to be putting a combustible load on that door. So this is just an example of some things that you're going to look at when doing an inspection on a fire door. There's plenty of other things to require. This is certainly just one way you could do it, not the required way. These are just some of the items to be looking at. And as always, don't forget to stay informed and stay safe.